To achieve objective number 2, we will look at moderate intensity timing of exercises. So how much time and energy should be put into that moderate intensity exercise. What is not moderate intensity exercise? So it's what is vigorous, which is a step above moderate, and how to make physical activity part of your daily routine. So recommended times for these moderate intensity activities include walking 2 miles in 30 minutes, biking 5 miles in 30 minutes, swimming laps for 20 minutes, playing volleyball for 45 minutes, gardening for 30 to 45 minutes, raking leaves for 30 minutes, and dancing for 30 minutes. So if you are starting out and you think, 30 minutes during each weekday is just too much, you could always look for exercises that are 20 minutes every day throughout the week, or break them down into 10-minute smaller segments until you adjust, or if you're going through a busy time, just to make sure that you're getting in some form of exercises. So dancing 10 minutes through 3 periods throughout the day would count towards your total 30 minutes of dancing. What is not moderate intensity activity? So vigorous, which would not be warranted in later stages of pregnancy, include shoveling, sports with a lot of running, such as soccer and basketball, martial arts, singles tennis, court sports such as racquetball and handball, running, hiking uphill, hoeing, and jumping rope. To make physical activity part of your regular routine, these are some helpful tips. So prepare your clothing the night before. If you set it out, you're more likely to put it on in the morning or when you get home from work. Include family, friends, and pets that may want to join you on your workouts. It could be multitasking. If you have to be looking after children or pets, you can bring them with you, or it can make your workouts more enjoyable as you have someone to communicate with. Number 3, choose activities that you like. They'll make working out seem like less of a chore and hopefully go by faster. Number 4, use an activity tracker such as a Fitbit or an app on your phone. Many of them are free now. This is a way you can kind of be competitive with yourself or keep up to date on, your improvements. And number 5 is reward yourself. Treat yourself when you achieve a goal. So this could be buying a magazine or spending an extra 10 minutes with your coffee in the morning. Moving on to objective 3, we'll start by having an activity with participants about how many extra calories do they think that they need to consume during pregnancy before going to the next slide. So most people think that they need more calories than they actually do per trimester. So at 1 to 3 months, you don't actually need any additional calories. At 4 to 6 months or during the second trimester, you only need an extra 340 additional calories per day. And at 7 to 9 months, you only need an extra 452 calories per day. So the old saying of eating for 2 during pregnancy really does not apply. To help achieve assuring proper weight gain through proper calorie intake during each day, we'll look at identifying preferred snacks that were listed previously in Objective 1 as easy to prepare or have on hand, and then look at the calories in each. We'll look at appropriate weight gain per trimester based on your BMI. We'll look at starting a food journal and practice reading food labels. So these are some of the snacks that we had looked at in Objective 1. And as you can see, most of them average about 300 calories, which is about what you need in your second trimester. So some people might think it's more, some people might think it's less than what you thought that you were going to need, but we'll go through it all individually. So 2 ounces of hummus, veggies, and a pita is approximately 300 calories. A banana and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is approximately 300 calories. 1.5 cups of cottage cheese and 1 cup of strawberries is approximately 300 calories. A half cup of trail mix is approximately 300 calories. A half of a whole wheat bagel and 1 tablespoon of almond butter is approximately 260 calories. 2 large hard-boiled eggs and 15 wheat thins is approximately 300 calories. And half of an avocado on 1 slice of toast with 1 teaspoon of honey is approximately 300 calories. So before moving on to talk about weight gain based on your BMI, we'll calculate everybody's BMI following the formula. So if you take your weight in kilograms, divide it by your height in meters twice, it will give you your BMI, and somebody can come around and help you with the calculations. This would be an activity with them that would take up about 10 minutes. Weight gain during pregnancy. So after you've calculated your BMI, you can see how much weight you actually should be gaining per trimester. So if you're under 19.8 for your BMI, you need to gain a total of 5 pounds in the first trimester, and then 1.07 pounds in the second and third weeks of the trimester. If your BMI is 19.8 to 26, you need to gain a total of 3.5 to 5 pounds total and 0.97 to 1 pound per week during the second and third trimester. If your BMI is 26 to 29, you'll need to gain 2 pounds total in the first trimester and then 0.67 pounds per week in the second and third trimester. And then if your BMI is over 29 pounds, you don't need to gain any weight in the first trimester and 0.5 pounds in the second and third trimester per week. This little table is also included on the pamphlet that you received, so you'll have it to reflect on yourself when you are at home. It looks exactly like this one. I included a food journal. This is just a copy that I found that I liked. It shows you your days of the week and breakfast, lunch, supper. I like how you can tally up your water intake and then your fitness too, so it'll make it easier to track your 150 minutes of activity throughout the week. This is something easy you could keep at your desk at work or on your fridge at home, and just calculate as you go or at the end of the day and then weekly. Okay, so we're going to move on to talking about a nutrition facts label, which will make it helpful when you're shopping at the grocery store. This is on essentially every product that you're going to buy. It's a sample label. This is a sample label for a macaroni and cheese. So we'll start at the top and work our way down. So in green there at the top, it shows serving sizes, 1 cup, and there's 2 servings per container. So some people will look at a container of something and think that the 1 serving is the whole container, when in fact it's usually broken down on the nutrition facts label. So this macaroni and cheese in fact contains 2 servings. It doesn't mean that you should eat 1 cup as a whole serving. It's just telling you the breakdown of nutrients based on that 1 cup. So checking calories, there's 250 calories per that 1 cup serving. And then it says to limit these nutrients. So it says total fat, but really you want to focus on the saturated fat and the trans fat. The unsaturated fat you would want to include. So the saturated fat and trans fat are to limit, cholesterol to limit, and sodium is to limit. And then in blue you have your dietary fiber, your vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, and then these are ones that you want to get more of. Conveniently on the side in the purple, you see the percent daily values. So there's a little trick there. If it's 5% or less, means the product is low in something, and 20% or more, it means it's high. So if something such as the saturated fat or trans fat, you want it to have a lower percentage of that, whereas if it's fiber, you want it to have a higher percentage. So as you can see by looking at this label, this macaroni and cheese actually contains 0% fiber as listed in purple on the side, so it's not a good source of fiber at all. Whereas the sodium is at 20%, so that's high. We don't really want to consume any more than that 20%, so we would want to consider the sodium content there. And then in closing, I want to touch on the success rate of lifestyle interventions in terms of exercise and nutrition. So this topic is timely, as GDM is a common complication of pregnancy, and rates are increasing nationwide and worldwide. And research to date has shown that diet and exercise can decrease the risk of GDM by as much as 39%. These federal resources are available for you as far as needing help purchasing groceries, continuing to communicate with a dietitian, having support. These federal resources are also all listed on the pamphlet that I gave you, and you can access them as you need them. You can find them online. We'd like to have a question and answer period. Should take up about 10 minutes. And then thank you for attending my presentation.